Aaron, I don't know if I'm going to make it through this. Excuse me. Here's a good thing. Now, you're kind of new to the area.
Yes.
So you're new to the phenomenon of the backdoor cold front.
A little bit.
Oh, my friend, we're going to get into some serious detail. By the time we're done with this, you'll be just sitting there, eyes glazed over. It's like you've been in one of those classes, you know, the Tuesday, Thursday classes in college.
Yeah.
They went like, what, hour and a half, 2 hours? And you're like, I'd give anything for this to be a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's what we're about to do here. All right, check it out. Across the east side of the state, we have hard freeze warnings, dark blue area. Lighter blue area is just your common freeze warning, and then a freeze watch across Eddy and Lee counties. Differences in these three are pretty simple. Hard freeze means we're likely to be in the mid-20s to high 20s at the very least here, so you're likely to see a killing frost, no doubt. Freeze warnings mean we're going to be right around that freezing mark, maybe a little bit below. And the freeze watches, we could have freezing conditions later on in the night into tomorrow morning. Now, as far as what's going on right now, the cold front's already going through the northeast, but the showers have stayed to the north, just turning to the north of Raton for the most part here. So we're not going to see any real significant snow out of this deal, but we are going to see temperatures dropping in a big way. 60 degrees in the metro right now. Wind gusts now up to 26 miles an hour. Check out the temps. Clayton just 26 degrees. Earlier in the day, they were in the 70s. Now they're in the 20s. Las Vegas at 35, 26 in Raton, 38 Tucumcari. So you can see where that cold air is. It's basically sitting along I-40 and will continue to slide down across the east side of the state. We'll explain why that is in just a moment. Metro area westward, temperatures are still somewhat mild at this point. And check out the 24-hour temperature changes in places like Casper, Denver, Pueblo, all significantly colder than where they were 24 hours ago. Same deal with Amarillo. That's that huge pool of cold air. And notice what's going on here. It's like a big bucket of water where you can see those cold temperatures just flowing down across the east side of the state. And a lot of times that cold air acts a lot like water because it will slide down the path of least resistance, and that path of least resistance is across the east. As far as the winds go, they're a huge issue across the northeast. And remember, when we're talking about winds here, gusting as high as 45 miles an hour, and they got temperatures in the 20s. It is brutally cold there. Even here in the metro Grants, we're seeing some gusty winds. But basically what we're dealing with here is a cold front that is very strong, but sort of thin. So what do I mean by that? Well, first of all, earlier today, we had temperatures in the teens in Casper and Denver 20s, but look at Pueblo, 73. Look at Clayton, 79. Then that cold air started to work through here, and we saw the temperatures take a dive across the area here. But again, the air just flows straight down the east side of the state where we have no mountains to get in its way, nothing to interrupt it as it slides down to the south. Now, here's our problem, though, and this is why we say this is thin. We've got enough cold air to make things really cold across eastern New Mexico into Texas, but as you push that air westward, we start losing the depth of it, and in fact, it's a pretty shallow air mass. So there's not enough cold air to wash over the rest of the state here. So by the time that cold air tries to get to us, we may see a 10-degree temperature drop in the metro area later on this week, but we're not going to see the super cold temperatures that you guys across the east are going to get because, again, you have that depth of cold air a little deeper here, enough to drop those temperatures, but not enough to affect things in central and western sections of the state. Here's a look at the satellite and radar, and you can see that cold air lined up here, and it's touching off a pretty good line of heavy snow headed into Omaha. So throughout the night tonight, cold air continues to slide down the east. Tomorrow will stay sunny, especially across central and western sections. And across the east, you guys are in the deep freeze throughout the rest of the week. But notice, although the front kind of leaks a little cold air in our direction, it's not really going to be that frigid type of air. Now, we may start to see a couple of snow showers by, say, late Thursday into Friday over the northern mountains. No big storms yet, but there is some hope into next week for that. 50s across southern Colorado, sunny and cool. West winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Chance for plenty of clouds over the next few days beyond tomorrow. 59 Farmington, 65 in Grants, and 62 out in Gallup. Meanwhile, across the southwest, sunshine and mild temperatures here, 60s and 70s. It looks like we'll keep those partly cloudy skies going throughout the rest of the week. This is one of those areas that will be very cool here over the next, say, 3 to 4 days, including Wednesday with a high in Roswell Wednesday of 42 degrees. We're just going to hit 34 on Wednesday across the northeast. That cold air is going to remain in place. Northern mountains, remember, you got to get up over the mountains to get into places like Taos, Red River, and Angel Fire, and they're not going to see the kind of cold air we're going to see in the northeast. 59 Estancia, 59 in Edgewood, and 58 out in Sandia Park. Some more clouds for Wednesday as the weather system goes to our north, but shouldn't be a huge deal. 30s and 40s for a start in the morning, and then low 60s. So we're going to be a little cooler tomorrow, just not as cool as other portions of the state, and we'll bottom out in the mid-50s on Thursday before temperatures rebound into Friday.
And how new I am to the area. I just realized it's 1 month ago today that I crossed over into New Mexico.